Hey, what's up everyone? It's Dolbeck, and today I'm gonna speak about a real unpopular opinion, and this is that the leader of the world want the man to be weak. And people will say they want us to work and make a lot of hours, so it's not painful for them to if we are weak. But listen. The only people we need to defend the world is the army. So if you take the army and you give them a bunch of hormone and you change the woman in army into man, you see what I mean? And then you learn how to change the human body doing that, and then you can use it in the army to create more powerful human. So for them doing search into that area on the population, I think it's really powerful for them. But today, my goal is not to speak about that. My goal is just to speak about all those people who are really powerful and control the world try to make the people weak in my area in Quebec. And there's one main thing that a lot of people did not realize during a long time, and this is we speak French. The Canada is English, and we have one territory that speak French. And the politician we had some politician that had really hard time. There was one woman in particular. She had really hard time just to speak in English, and she was trying to have interaction with the outside. We was looking bad. First of all, I want to use myself as an example. You can see my English is pretty bad. I had to learn English while gaming, so most of the first word I learned was like bad word. And at the school, well, I was not really caring about that because it was school, and yeah, I only have I only have a high school grade one, and my English is better than that girl with university level academy. So this is Pauline Marois, a woman who's been politician and ruling Quebec during a moment. Let's see how good she speaks.
Judaism. Is there anything you
Uh,
could say to reassure the 400,000 Muslims that live in Quebec and the thousands and thousands of Jews that live in Quebec and on the island of Montreal?
You know, my party has a great respect of all the citizens, even, and we respect all the citizens, we respect the choice of the religion practice, we respect the needs of these people, but there is two things in our charter we want to adopt. That is the neutrality or the laicism of the state, of the government institution, and the equality between men and women. But the freedom of the practice of their religion, if they want to have some clothes which are different, or and they want to have this clothes, no problem with me in the public space, yes, but if you work for the government, you will have to respect our charter.
And sorry, just a quick follow-up.
Okay, so what I remember from that interview just after watching it, it's a woman fighting for feminists, so it's like unbiased opinion. Like she, for sure, like a woman fighting for feminists just make no sense. Like, and then she's a French that cannot speak a proper English, fighting for the defense of the French. Dude, it doesn't mean progress. Progress is not that. To progress, you need to accept that French is not what make Canada work. Delete French, and then next generation gonna speak English. You gonna suffer during a moment. You probably hate it, but the reality stay there. You just have to accept it. Let's see the part 2 of that interview where things just get worse.
Do you see it as a problem that the majority of Quebecers hold these negative views?
I don't want to make comments about this poll, but I don't think that is the case. I think the large majority of the people are are respectuous of the different comment on dit ça là, des différentes convictions religieuses. I'm sure of that.
She just speak French.
Merci.
Vous avez parlé de votre propre chef des frontières du Québec.
On voudra la franchir.
It's now okay, so it's finished in French because she cannot speak English. So this is fucking wild. The only fact that she's leading Quebec just dismantle is whole feminist thing because the women are equal. She's leading Quebec. Just make no fucking sense, alright? And the fact that she cannot speak a proper English just prove that she don't even have the right to speak against English. Know your thing if you want to do a debate, please. There's many people that I know that cannot even speak an English word, and if they speak English, it don't really work good. They don't know a good English. And then if they want to go outside, they need to learn it. And they did the school till the end, but they just did not really listen. Like if it just goes somewhere really far behind in their head and they never remember it, it just disappear. And yeah, so this is a lot like that. But yeah, the new generation is more English type, and we speak almost more English than French, and I feel like we're gonna swap more to the English. But yeah, this is still a problem. The fact that the Quebec is speaking French really it make it really hard for us just to trade with the outside and have interaction with the outside. And during a long time, the Quebec people was just shooting themselves in the feet just trying to do that. And remember that we spend money to defend the French language, and we spend money to make the people learn the French at school and shit. And yeah, we spend a lot of money on the French, and we can easily switch to English and Spanish or something like that. You see what I mean? The French in Canada is kind of useless because the France is way too far, the Africa is way too far. The people that are close to us are speaking English and Spanish. They are not speaking French, alright? So it just makes no sense for the Quebec to keep speaking French and try to defend it and try to make more people speak French. It's a movement that need to die because it's just not helping at all. So you see, it's just not helping. You know, maybe it's because I'm a gamer that I try to min-max everything, but the people who made school always speak about min-maxing the way to educate the people. Bro, the school is not min-maxed, alright? So, the Quebec is stealing the oil revenue. The Quebec is not using most of his oil that is under the ground, but they still take the money from the tax taken from the oil from all the other region in Canada. So yeah, like the Canada need to the Canada, it's almost better if they kick us out. Like we are not. I don't think we help the Canada, and we take more tax than we give. The Quebec have the highest tax, but even then, because the population is low, we don't give as much money and the other people, and we just don't use the resource we have at the full potential because we are French and shit like that. The Quebec is woke since a long time. The fact that we are French and thing like that just make it even worse. Yes, we have a base that is Christian, but I feel like the Christian been so hard on the people that the people just don't want to identify themselves as Christian over there. Cause yeah, this is what I mean by the Christian being hard with the people. Like yeah, and the Catholic people was really rough too, asking the woman to have multiple child and yeah. So, the drive or the log drive. You see, when we come in Canada, there was a lot of wood, and the people, for some reason, they create big company throw all the wood in the water and just push it with stick to make it pass. And when the wood was like blocking, they was putting dynamite into it to make it explode, and all the fish die, and the wood just keep going. All that just to do the much money as quick as possible to just destroy everything without thinking about a shit. My city is Three River. We was one of the central city of that, and there was still wood in the water when I was young, and it destroyed all the side of the river because the wood just do erosion and shit like that. So yeah, we've been destroying the whole fucking river, and then the people try to say that we have some culture. The people try to say we have a kind of legacy or something, but what they left to us is mostly destroyed, and all the terrain are so like cut that they all belong to someone. Like the price go higher to just make sure that everyone in their family had a spot, and they just profit as much as they can to get rich. And the reality is it was not created for the regular people. It was just made by the rich for the regular people, because they don't care to just create as much quick as they can. Like, it was the most painful thing for them. So there's the food coming from Quebec, the poutine, and I'm surprised because the Quebec is the place in the Canada that there's a less obese. But I think the fact that we have the poutine as the main dish just show us that how it's unhealthy to eat it, and you feel so bad after eating one that you probably reduce your amount of bad meal. Like you feel so sick if you eat 2 or 3 poutine in the same day that like you just cannot go on that rhythm like pizza or like spaghetti and shit like that. 60% of used water in Quebec are dropped into the water, into the river and shit like that without being disinfected. So 60%. This is kind of huge when you think about it. And with the, like I said, the drav and the log pudding and shit like that, the river was so unclean. When I was young, we was not able to swim into the river during a long time, and then they cleaned it during year and year, and then we've been able to swim in the river. But the reality is they destroy so hard the river that during a long time we was not able to swim into it, and many fish disappear. Yeah, to destroy like I'm gonna take as example the beluga. The beluga almost extinct. There's only 900 beluga left, and the population of beluga diminish by 1% each year. So at 100 years, supposed to have no more of them. And yeah, probably gonna go exponential. So we killed the beluga, and maybe it will not come back. We try really hard to help them, but who knows? They're still going down. And yeah, I'm gonna finish with that. You cannot play music in the street in Quebec. If I go in the street and I start playing tam tam, you see like the reggae people, I just go in the street and I do that, I'm gonna get a ticket. So yeah, you need a world permit to be able to play in the street, and it need to be like a professional level and shit like that. It's just stupid as fuck. Like, if you want to play music in the street, you're gonna get a ticket in Canada, Quebec. So yeah, this is weird. Are we really free in Quebec? I don't know. Is Quebec really a part of the Canada and really trying to be a part of it? I feel like the fact that we try too much on the French limit the Canada, and the only fact that we have a hockey team called Canada, and we are not even able to support it because we are too poor because we speak French, and all the biggest contracts in Canada are made in English. Well, we all the best player in the hockey are sold to other team because we we don't know how it worked. We have no good economic side in Quebec, and yeah, like we still have the potential. We still like the best hockey player are still coming from Quebec, most of them, but we don't see them in Quebec because Quebec just don't pay them because we can't. We just need to delete a couple random shit. So yeah, I can keep going. I'm gonna probably do more, but right now I feel like that is enough. And yeah, see ya. Peace out.